this video is going to focus on participation for active records management. And students registered in this course have two areas to focus further on the understanding of the course material and developing your knowledge further on the topics we cover in this course, both the discussion board and in-course chats. Now, the online environment is asynchronous, which means that I'll post something and at some point later, you're going to post something, hopefully, in response to each other. Now, the course chats are the only synchronous piece that we have to this course, where we all have an opportunity to log in at the same time and have a chat. Now, the participation is worth 20% of your final grade. 10% comes from discussion, 10% from chat. Now let's talk about discussion first. You're not required to post a response to the discussion questions that follow each lecture, each weekly lecture. You're not required to do it for all 12 lectures or all 12 weeks where you have a discussion question. However, the minimum requirement is for participation on the discussion board is for 5 original posts and 5 responses to other students' posts. Now, your response, in order to qualify as a good post, needs to be substantial. So your reply post can't simply be, I agree with what that student has said. That's not going to give any meat to the discourse or the discussion on the discussion board. However, I do recommend that you strive to participate in the discussions each week because they will add to your understanding of the course material and give you an opportunity to develop your ideas a little bit further. The discussions do connect directly to the lectures, and you'll find that sometimes you'll be able to use what you've done in the discussion or read in the discussion. You'll be able to use that in your assignments and possibly even in the exam. Now, the Ontario Learn system does track participation in the discussion boards. It does it automatically, which I can analyze and look at through the term or at the end of the term when I do the assessment for participation. So students are not required to submit a report about your participation or what you've done this term. The system will help me to do that, and I'll be able to check and read all of your posts during the course. In terms of course chats, chats are scheduled class discussions in real time. They last for approximately an hour, although they usually go a little bit over if students have an interest to continue the chat. It occurs when 2 or more students are currently logged into the chat room. We'll meet and we'll be typing our discussion points into the chat dialog box. If you've not used them before, they can be a little tricky. You'll see in the chat room that you'll be able to select settings and change your name from your student code name to your actual name. So you'll see I'm listed as Trudy Wright, and I've changed the color of my name, so you'll be able to see when you see the color that that's going to be me. And you can customize your own view for your own name and color of your text as well. Now, we don't have it scheduled yet because I want to find out what days are most convenient for most of the class, hopefully all of the class. So I've set up a quiz in the Ontario Learn environment, and I need you to do the quiz in the first week so that I can schedule the chats. The first chat will be scheduled for the second week. So by the end of the first week, I am going to have to set that up. The quiz also includes times. Usually 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock is the best time, but we have had students in the course in the past who have been in England, they've been in the Caribbean. I had a student who was in British Columbia, so time difference does sometimes wreak havoc with how we schedule things in the course. The course schedule, however, is set in Eastern Standard Time, which is where Mohawk College is set, and Mohawk is the host for this course as well. You might be saying to yourself, do I have to attend all of the chats? There are 6 chats scheduled. You don't have to attend all of them. The minimum to attend is 2. If to get your marks from that, you actually not just need to attend, but you need to participate. If you are uncomfortable in or feel awkward in that kind of environment, then my recommendation is you can prepare prior to the chat. The chats will be focused on the most recent lectures or the current lecture for that week. So you can prepare questions that you would like to pose during the chat. Do that before the chat, and then it gets the conversation going and will definitely count towards your participation. So 2 chats are the absolute minimum, but I highly recommend that you participate in all of them. I share information based on the questions that students ask during the chats that you might not see in the lecture, because you haven't asked that question, so I can't respond to it in the lecture, but I can respond in the chat. Now, following each chat, I will post a transcript as well. So if you can't attend the chat, you can still read the chat and find all those juicy bits of information that I post in the chat. In addition, if you're one of those unfortunate students that isn't able to attend the chat because you had a conflict or you work or for some reason the schedule doesn't work out for you, you can still get those chat credits, the credits for that chat. Essentially, prior to the scheduled chat, send me a 1-page write-up on your thoughts and your questions about that week's lecture or the lecture that's relevant to that chat. Send it before the chat. I'll read it, and you will get credit for that participation. It is extra work, but it's a 1-pager, and we're spending an hour within the week participating in the chat. But even when you do that, I still recommend that you read the transcript to get the extra pieces of information. I will work really hard to try to keep the conversation in the chat on topic, but it is challenging sometimes because we often have students who are at varying levels of experience in terms of the information profession. So some of the questions may have us veer the discussion away from the topic, but I will work hard to get it back onto topic. You'll see that I have laid out when the chats will occur. So chat 1 in week 2, then we have another in week 3, week 5, week 7, week 9, and then chats are in week 12 or 13. They also correspond to the assignments, so we'll be able to talk about the assignments prior to their due dates. And I've had an open chat left for during the exam period, so that when I log on, if you see you're logged on, I'm logged on, you can always log on and you can chat with me. It's another means of communication with me as your instructor. If you have any questions about this, don't forget, you can contact me via the discussion board, chat once we have them, and via email. Thanks very much.